Welcome, everybody, to the Women Wellness and Wisdom Wednesday workshop. I am Barbara Schuman, and I am delighted to have been invited by the Women Wellness and Wisdom team to share with you some of my ideas. First, let me tell you that this group of women is an extraordinary group. Their goal is to share their knowledge and their wisdom with other women around the world from every walk of life. We are based in the United States, but we are working with women all over the world. Our goal is to be happy, be healthy, be inspired, and bring this inspiration, happiness, and health to the communities we live in. And I am delighted to be able to share my experience and my education and my information with all of you today. My name is Barbara Schuman. I am a certified personal trainer. I am also what you would call an integrative nutrition health coach. And I have spent a lot of time in my career working with people from all backgrounds, but my specialty is weight loss and working in age management medicine. I worked for close to 10 years in a practice that is world-renowned in helping people to slow down the aging process. It was a preventive health and age management practice. I've had hundreds of clients over this last dozen years or so, and I thought that it would be really valuable to teach everybody today what I teach my clients on how to slow down the aging process. And I like to say your body is your home and you need to renovate yourself. And that is my approach to what I'm going to share with you today. Getting older is not often a really pretty sight, but with knowledge, commitment, and work, we can age gracefully. Isn't this transformation of this home just remarkable? Well, it is amazing, the remarkable transformation that somebody who puts focus and puts their knowledge into action can actually accomplish in renovating their body. We can't stop aging, that's for sure. We can slow it down, but we can prevent and reverse disease. And these diseases are actually what is associated with aging. I like to say we only have one body, we have to take good care of it. And that is my focus today. It is my goal to educate you to some of the most important things to pay attention to, because we have the power to repair, heal, and renovate ourselves at the cellular level. What I mean by that is we have 70 trillion cells in our body. And if we do things that actually heal and repair those cells, our whole body can live longer, be better, and you will see a renovation. As an aging well health coach, I'm like an architect or a contractor in your personal renovation. You can certainly do it yourself, but it goes much more smoothly when you have guidance. I'm going to share my professional perspective and how I have worked with my clients to help them achieve their goals. We need to start with the blueprint. As with any renovation project, we have to have a plan, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. I want to mention from the start that people often ask me, what do you eat? What's your exercise routine? What supplements do you take? I believe what I do for myself may not be exactly what you need. I come from the perspective of bio-individuality. What's one person's medicine could be another person's poison. I look at everyone individually. When we announced this webinar last week, a number of people reached out to me and asked me to share specifics about what helped me to achieve success personally and for my own body, but with my clients. And I'm going to mention a number of supplements that I recommend and why. I'm going to mention what I use and why. Please know that my goal tonight is to educate you on some of the primary ideas to slow down the aging process. I'm really not here to peddle products. I really want to give you some solid information. So step number one, the foundation of our health has to be evaluated and strengthened. You know, I always want to start with the foundation. A 50-year-old overweight woman comes to me with high blood pressure, high blood sugar, a waistline that she is not happy with, and osteoporosis. She wants to look younger, so she's been to the plastic surgeon and had a facelift. That is like putting brand new aluminum siding on this house with a crumbling foundation. It might look pretty, but the serious issues are not really being addressed. Just like a building inspector or a structural engineer, we are going to examine the foundation of what's going on in her health. And I like to check the lab results to see what might be out of balance, because with those 70 trillion cells in our body, they make up all of our tissue, which make up all of our organs. And these 70 trillion cells are fed by our blood, which is bringing oxygen and nutrients into every cell. So I want to go over this slide with you, and you may want to grab a paper and pencil, because if you don't know your numbers, you should. And I want to note the way I look at these lab values might be a little different than your primary care doctor. And the reason why is I have worked for 10 years, as I said, as the nutrition and exercise counselor for a team of preventive medicine and age management doctors. And their guidelines are a little tighter or more strict than the typical North American doctor, because they don't want to wait until a patient has diabetes to inspire them to change their habits. They don't even want to wait for them to have pre-diabetes. They want to prevent the disease before it starts to wreak havoc in the patient's body. So let's start by looking at the first number, glucose. This would be fasting glucose. Our recommendation is it should be less than 95. Most physicians won't blink an eye if it's 105 or below. That 10-point difference makes a big deal. If somebody is chronically a little bit high in their fasting blood sugar, it's going to take a toll on their body, and I'll tell you why later. Insulin levels. Most doctors will be satisfied as long as the insulin level is below 10. The doctors I've worked with insist that it be below 5, and there's good reason. The hemoglobin A1C, 5.4 or less. You know, doctors don't usually get all up in arms about the hemoglobin A1C unless somebody is over 6.1, because that's the beginning of pre-diabetes. If it hits 6.7, they're into diabetes, and that's when the doctor starts to pay attention. Why wait until the body is already on the wrong pathway? So we want to keep that hemoglobin A1C lower, and I'm going to explain to you why later. Cholesterol levels, total should be under 200. The LDL should be under, that's the bad cholesterol, should be under 100. The HDL for a man should be over 40, and for a woman should be over 50. Triglycerides, the average American doctor will say as long as it's under 150, it's okay. Not the physicians in the age management and prevention. We want to see it under 100, because high triglycerides are really taking you on a path towards stroke. C-reactive protein. A lot of people don't even have that test done, and you should ask your doctor for that test if you're not having it done. This number, if it is high, it indicates inflammation in your body, and it has been found to predict a 3 times greater risk of a heart attack. The typical physician will look to see if it's lower than 10. A preventive health care physician wants it 3 or less. 3 is like the high that they're accepting. So if you don't get that test done, ask for it the next time you have your blood work done. Homocysteine. A lot of people don't know what that is. It is an amino acid and breakdown product of protein metabolism that, when it's present in high concentration, it has been linked to increased risk of heart attack or stroke. And we like to see it on the low end, like 4.4 or so. As far as vitamin D goes, it's very popular right now. People know about the importance of vitamin D. You want it at least at 50. but not really above 65. That's kind of a sweet range that you want to keep it in. We know that vitamin D is keeping those levels at the right point help to prevent chronic diseases and cancer. So step number 2 is in this renovation project is you need to start tearing out that decayed wood, right? You do not want to start painting over mold and leaving rotting wood and creepy bugs in your basement. That's disgusting. You want to get rid of all that gunk, right? So where do you start? Well, you need to start in the gut. You've probably heard the term microbiome. You might not know what it means. Micro means small. Biome means habitat of living things. So you want to know what creepy things are living in your basement today. There's actually trillions of microbes, diverse organisms that help govern every function of our body. In fact, when you look at all the bacteria, all the archaea, which are single-cell organisms, all the protists, which are organisms that are not actually an animal or fungus or protein, it's more like an algae. You want to look at the fungi and the viruses in your body, all throughout your body, including all these organisms. It's almost as if it makes up so much content, so much weight in your body, that it is like an organ unto itself, which is really fascinating. Researchers have said that 90% of all diseases can be traced in some way back to the health of your gut and the microbiome. I've been reading a lot about the microbiome, and your health really starts in your mother's womb. As a fetus, you're receiving the microbiomes from your mother's womb. And when you get born and you exit the womb, this kicks off your lifelong association with all these invisible critters that live in and on us and affect our health. Some of these are really important, effective bacteria that do really good things for our bodies. What will happen if a baby does not pass through the birth canal and is born by C-section? There's been a lot of research to link C-section delivery with asthma, obesity, allergies, and immune deficiencies because these babies receive this important microbiome from their mother's vaginal fluid. So this really interesting article that I read in Nature's Medicine was that the researchers are now slathering the vaginal fluids on newly born babies to restore the normal microbiome development. Isn't that interesting? So your gut, where the majority of this bacteria is really a balancing act for your good health. Your bad bacteria, the E. coli from contaminated foods, cause infection and disease and fever and abdominal pain. We also know that there's a lot of bad bacteria that is associated with obesity, inflammation, low immunity. Now they're connecting the lack of certain good bacteria with rheumatoid arthritis. This bad bacteria can keep you from absorbing nutrients, and it interrupts your metabolism and can cause heart disease. Plus, you could have parasites in your gut. What we're finding is that the good bacteria, we really need to boost them because they're the heroes. They boost our immune response. They help us produce vitamin K2, which is important for blood clotting. They help us produce vitamins. They protect against carcinogens. They protect against cancer and heart disease. Many people are familiar with taking probiotics. You hear it's important to take probiotics. What people don't seem to know, which is so interesting, is probiotics are actually very alive and they need to be fed. They're a form of bacteria or yeast. So to create a friendly environment for them, you have to feed the probiotics. So what do you feed the probiotics? You need to feed them prebiotics. such as fermented foods and fibrous foods. If you look on this slide, you'll see that foods that you eat can help to increase the probiotics that you want for healing and longevity. So take a look at this page of prebiotic foods. How many of you have eaten more than one of these foods in the last 24 hours? I'm going to tell you that I've eaten every single thing on this page, including dandelion greens, except for chicory. I have not had chicory, but I've eaten everything else on this page within the last few days. And that's because I'm focused on eating right. It's what jazzes me. It's what's important to me. It's what I like to teach. But not everyone is going to love eating dandelion greens. Am I right? So I turn to a group of products created by Unicity International that I recommend to my clients to do a month-long cleanse that helps to sweep out all the bad bacteria, the mucus, and the toxins and the gunk that lines our digestive tract. There is no fasting involved with this Unicity cleanse. You simply add the prebiotic product, this fiber in the canister you see, called Life Fiber, to your routine. You stir it into water, or you could mix it into a morning protein shake. And right before you do that, half an hour before, you take the capsules that help to rid your body of parasites and unhelpful bacteria in the morning. And in the evening, you take an aloe capsule, or you drink, if you choose, the nature's tea for a laxative effect. And what this does is it sweeps out the bad bacteria. People notice that bloating starts to go away. The discomfort in their bellies starts to dissipate. Their belly becomes flatter. They're not so swollen. Their skin begins to glow, and their brain fog lifts. Why does the brain fog lift? It lifts because our gut and our brain are connected. In fact, in embryo, the brain tissue and the gut tissue are connected. It takes the 9 months in utero to have it become developed as two separate organs, but it starts with the same cells. So there's such a strong connection between how your gut is functioning and how your brain is functioning. So after 30 days of this cleanse, I always recommend that as the month ends, you begin to take a probiotic. The Unicity probiotic is called Probionic, and I love it. It is, first let me explain to you why you take it. You want to replace the good bacteria that might have been swept out with the bad bacteria in the cleanse. And you want to continue to keep that good bacteria alive and growing. And how this product is unique and really special is it is a micro-encapsulated powder that you sprinkle on your tongue. And in these micro-encapsulated little, it's almost like beads. When you swallow it, it goes down your digestive tract and is protected until it gets into your gut. So it doesn't get damaged by the enzymes in your mouth, in your saliva. It tastes great. Kids like it. Adults enjoy taking it. It is an easy thing to do. It comes in a little packet, so when you're traveling, you can keep it in your purse, in your pocket, so you never have to be without it. It's a brilliant concept. So step number 3 in our renovation is you have to prevent problems in all your pipes. It's not just your digestive tract. Yep, you could be full of sewage. You have to also consider your circulatory system. There can be a lot of gunk in your pipes, and how do you avoid all that gunk? How do you get rid of that gunk? Isn't this a charming picture? Well, if you're going to put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. You really need to commit to dumping the sugar and the processed carbohydrates. this is probably one of the most important things you can do in your renovation and to slow down the aging process is to dump the sugar from your diet. Every time you grab a donut, a bag of chips, a drink of soda, the carbohydrates and sugar that you're eating become glucose in your bloodstream. The release of this glucose into your body throughout your circulatory system in your blood has long-term damaging effects on your health. This surge of glucose in your bloodstream trying to enter your cells is on overload. That's why you see this spike. Now I'm going to explain to you what happens to this sugar as it's trying to get into your cells to give you energy. I want you to look at this apple. Imagine that this apple is a cell. Now remember, you have 70 trillion cells in your body, so you have 70 trillion of these apples in your body, and you've just eaten a donut, and that sugar is trying to get into all of the different cells in your body. It's going through your bloodstream. But you just didn't eat one donut, you ate 3 donuts, and then you drank a mochaccino with it, which was full of sugar and caramel and what, you have all this sugar rushing into your body. And what's going to happen is it can't all get into the cell. So it's going to attach to the outside of the cell. This attachment of sugar to protein or lipid molecules is called glycation. This is a very important word. You've probably heard the term glycemic index. That is the speed at which the glucose enters the cell. Well, it's connected to the word glycation because if you look at the apple on the left, that's the cell with no sugar on the outside. Now look at the apple on the right. That is a candy apple completely coated with sugar. That is what glycation looks like on every single cell in your body, whether that cell is in your arteries, whether that cell is in your brain, whether that cell is in your liver. All the cells of your body start to get coated with this sugar. This is extremely negative for your health and speeds up the aging process. Let me explain to you what it's doing. You see, this is a model of a cell. You heard me mention the word hemoglobin A1C before when I was talking about blood tests. A lot of people know that word. They associate it with the idea of diabetes. It's a measurement for diabetes. People who have diabetes get their hemoglobin A1C tested every 90 days. Why is that? Well, let me explain. Hemoglobin is the protein from inside the red blood cells. It gives our blood its red color and it transports oxygen molecules throughout the body. After sugary meals, the hemoglobin is exposed to these elevated levels of glucose, and glucose will actually attach itself to the protein. That's glycation, just like the candy apple example. And since a red blood cell's lifespan is only 90 days, this test measures how much your blood sugar is spiking and the seriousness of the impact on your cells for the last 3 months. So when you do a fasting blood sugar test, it's only measuring how high your blood sugar is going the last 12 hours. This test, the hemoglobin A1C test, reveals the last 3 months, and it is a glycation indicator, how much sugar is attaching to your red blood cells. This is not just a test for diabetes. This is going to be an indicator of how rapidly you are going to age. When you breathe, the oxygen combines with the sugar and literally oxidizes or rusts. This is what plaque is in the inside of your artery. Look at the artery, how it's coated with plaque buildup, just like the old pipe is coated with rust. This is what oxygen is doing, is it's combining with this glycation. This is reversible. If you want to take your health seriously, you need to scrub your arteries. And how do you scrub your arteries? You need to eat lots of living food, lots of healthy fiber. I wanted to put this slide in bright lights because it is probably the single most important thing I'm going to say to you today. And that is, if you want to save your life, according to the American Heart Association, the American Cancer Society, and the American Diabetes Association, you need to make sure you get 25 to 38 grams of fiber in your diet every single day, not just one day a week, not just 2 days a week, but every single day. This is going to help you to prevent these chronic health issues. Let food be your medicine and let medicine be your food. Hippocrates, who was the Greek physician who lived in 300 BC, he's the father of medicine. He was the one who created the Hippocratic Oath that doctors say when they become a physician and get sworn in to be physicians. They are told to do no harm. Use food to be your medicine. Plant food is what contains lots of fiber. So look at these plants. How does fiber help you? It fills you up so you don't eat as much, so you lose weight. Fiber slows down the speed of glucose entering your cells. It controls your blood sugar, so it's going to limit glycation. It lowers cholesterol and reduces plaque, so you have less risk of heart disease and stroke. It keeps stuff, the food you eat, from lingering in your digestive tract. If you eat a steak and you've had no fibrous food with it, it's going to stay in that digestive tract for days, rotting and becoming toxic and raising your risk of cancer. Fiber is a prebiotic. It helps keep healthy bacteria alive. You're going to poop more when you eat fiber, getting rid of the toxins and decaying food and making you feel so much lighter. Keeping your digestion moving gets the toxins out of your body, so your skin is going to look better. Now, I promised to share my real secrets. Here is my biggest secret. I have used this fiber supplement. It's called Unicity Balance for nearly 25 years. There are two forms of it, Unicity Balance for glucose and Unicity Balance for cholesterol. I have used Unicity Balance for cholesterol for nearly 25 years. I drink it 10 to 15 minutes before 2 meals per day, every day. Even if I'm in the fanciest French restaurant or I'm going to someone's home for dinner, I will drink this. I discovered it 25 years ago in its original form, and I saw the fabulous results with keeping my enormous appetite under control, so it kept my weight down, but also the fiber in it helped to control a lot of my perimenopause and menopause symptoms. And I noticed that immediately within 1 month. Now, people who know me and have seen me, they think I have very defined muscles. Yes, I do. I work out a lot. I like to lift weights. But the truth is, taking balance keeps the body from storing excess fat. So women who say, gee, I want to have arms just like yours, what do I do? Here's my secret. As we age, women especially, the fat accumulation on our arms and our thighs and around our middle, around our waist, it seems impossible to get rid of as we age. But what balance does is it helps to stop the storage of fat and allow our body to use our stored fat for energy. Now, I'll explain that in a moment, but what I want to say is that it is listed in the physician's desk reference, the book that catalogs every prescription drugs that doctors turn to for guidance. This isn't a drug, but research has shown it lowers bad cholesterol, triglycerides, it raises good cholesterol. It also is able to control the glucose and insulin spikes. If in this model, it shows that if you take it before lunch and you eat your meal 15 minutes later, in between your meal, you have been able to get your blood sugar levels down at the same rate as your insulin levels, which puts you in what's called a fat burning zone. And when you have that time between meals, your body is looking for food and it can't find any food. Your insulin levels being low allows your body to go into your fat cells and use your fat as energy. So when I talk about women asking me, how they can get arms like mine. I'm going to say you need to get into the fat burning zone between meals. By getting into the fat burning zone between meals, the muscle that you're working on building in the gym will be able to be visible. You won't have this coating of fat over it. Now, it doesn't happen in a week or a month. It might even take a couple years, but over time, using Unicity Balance over these last 20 years, I can say it has kept my weight under control, kept my fat under control, reduces glycation, and I believe it is the single best anti-aging supplement on the market today, even though it's not marketed for that. So let's go back to our house. We need to evaluate our systems, our electrical system, our cooling system, our heating system. You need to know that all these systems are working properly as you go into renovation. First of all, you need to know what your blood pressure is and what your heart rate is. An ideal blood pressure is 120/80. If it's lower than that, you can look at that green range. If it's 90/60, that's the low end of normal. That's fine. But if it's starting to get into the pre-high blood pressure range or the high blood pressure range, it's telling you that some of your systems are out of whack and you need to pay attention. Yes, you might need to take medication, but there are things you can do to lower your blood pressure and to have a more healthy heart rate. One of them is yoga and meditation. Stress is a big inducer of high blood pressure and high heart rate. I worked for many years as the exercise and nutrition counselor for this preventive medicine practice, and I would design exercise programs specifically for lowering blood pressure. I am proud to say I got so many people off of their medications as they improved their fitness and they lost weight. It is the aerobic exercise with doing interval training with a nutritious diet that can make your arteries more flexible and improve your blood pressure. Now, we want to avoid fire hazards, inflammation. When your body's out of balance, your immune system's off, smoldering fires inside your body can lead to disease and to weight gain. And we know that there are ways that once this inflammation takes off, it starts to be harder and harder to lose that diabetes belly, that fat belly that is going to have some really negative side effects. When you see a man with a huge belly, you know that he is not getting blood flow to his extremities and is experiencing erectile dysfunction. That same big belly could be connected with nerve pain in the feet, and it is the buildup of inflammation in the arteries. The obesity brings with it a risk of cancer and depression and Alzheimer's and joint pain. I want to say that the sugar you eat, the high doses of the wrong oils, the omega-6 oils, corn oil, soybean oil, all the hydrogenated oils, perhaps lack of exercise, chronic stress, food allergies, all these create inflammation deep in our tissue. And as fat mass expands, inflammation increases. And it's hard to understand this, but by raising your insulin resistance, the more sugar you eat, the more the higher insulin levels go, the more fat you store. And the more fat you store, the more inflammation occurs in your body. And the more inflammation you have, the harder it becomes to lose weight. It is an extremely vicious cycle. I teach people to reduce inflammation by eating foods that contain omega-3 healthy fats. They lower triglycerides. Omega-3 healthy fats ease joint pain. They improve mood and memory. They are going to calm the inflammation throughout your body at a cellular level, but also when you have healthy fats in every meal, it's going to slow the entry of the carbohydrate in the form of glucose into your body. So it will control the amount of glycation you have. So you want to control glycation in your body. You want to keep all those cells from being coated with sugar. and you want to feel more full and satisfied at every meal, eat omega-3 healthy foods. Now, this article that I came across really excited me. It reports on a 5-year study in the Journal of the American Medical Association, and it shows a strong connection between taking omega-3 fish oil and longevity, as seen in the length of telomeres. We can't discuss aging, slowing aging, without a brief discussion of telomeres. And I want to give you an education on this because a lot of people are not familiar with this word. Telomeres are an essential part of every human cell and affect how our cells age. What telomeres are is they are the cap. If you look at that diagram, they are the cap at the end of each strand of DNA that actually protects our chromosomes. It's like the plastic tip at the end of your shoelace. Without the coating on your shoelace, you know how your shoelaces become frayed and they can't fit through the hole anymore because all the strings are scattered? Well, the same thing with this. Just like the shoelace can't do its job, without these telomeres, the DNA strands become damaged and our cells can't do their jobs. And because DNA makes up all the cells in our body, it is the genetic material that makes us who we are. Every organ in our body, our skin, our liver, our heart, they're all made up of cells. So telomeres are vital to our health. Now, our cells replenish themselves by copying themselves. This happens daily, constantly through our lives. Telomeres get shorter each time a cell copies itself, but the important DNA stays intact. Eventually, telomeres get too short to do their job, causing our cells to age and stop functioning properly. Therefore, telomeres actually act as the aging clock in every single cell. Now, how do telomeres get shortened? They naturally get shortened as we age, but telomeres also get shortened more quickly when you have stress in your life, when you smoke, when you are obese, when you don't do exercise, and when you eat a poor diet. So I take this product, omega-3, Life 3, twice a day. I take 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening. I've actually been giving the same dosage to my standard poodle, Zoe, who is now 15 years old. I started her on it about 8 years ago when I noticed she was developing arthritis and joint pain. And she just wasn't enjoying her walks. She's an old girl, but I'm going to tell you, at the age of 15, she will still run wind sprints with me. And I attribute her friskiness to this omega-3 gel cap. She gets 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening, just like me. So we're still talking about the electrical heating and cooling system of your home. It's important that you get sweaty. Why? It's going to, as you sweat, you get rid of the toxins in your body. You boost your immune system. You get that glow in your skin. You get all the stuff out of your body that is all the toxins, so your skin really looks great. And you can reduce the risk of kidney stones. But you can't get a healthy sweat going if you're not drinking plenty of water. Water is crucial. It regulates your body temperature. It's going to flush the wastes and toxins from your body. It's going to deliver oxygen all of your body and lubricate your joints. Listen, between you and me, you can't stay sexy and juicy if you're all dried out, right? So you need to be drinking water, lots of it every day. Now, we're on to step number 5, strengthening your internal structure. It's really important, if you're going to renovate your house, that these struts in your house are not crumbling and that they are strong. I want to take time right now to share with you this diagram. I would say of every slide I have, this is my favorite slide. So I don't want you to zone out. I want you to really look at the slide with me as I discuss it with you. First, look at the 4 women through the decades of their life at age 20, 30, 40, and 50. You can probably place yourself in one of those age groups. Next, look at their weight, 126, 136, 146, 156. This is typical weight gain as we age 10 pounds per decade. Next, notice the muscles in pounds, 45, 40, 35, 30. Typically losing 5 pounds of muscle per year. Next, notice the fat in pounds, gaining 15 pounds per year, 29, 44, 59, 74. Can you relate to this? Now, the bottom number is a percentage of the total body weight, how much of it is fat. 23, 32, 40, 47. Basically, your body fat doubles in 4 decades. Now, when you increase the fat and you lose muscle, your metabolism slows down. So many women, my age, I am 65, so many women say, since I hit menopause, my metabolism has slowed down. True, but why? The muscle is metabolic. If you increase your muscle, it will lead the body to burn more calories. You're going to have a higher metabolism. If you increase the fat and you lose muscle, typically your metabolism is going to slow down. This is why it is hugely important for women and men to lift weights as they age. It not only keeps you strong, but it keeps your metabolism burning. So remember this slide. To me, it is a reason I go to the gym every single day. Well, not every day, 5 days a week, let's say. How do we prevent this age-related muscle loss? Well, it's very important not only to lift weights, but then to follow that weightlifting, to follow that exercise with protein, and to eat protein at every meal. There are many studies from the National Institute of Health and other respected institutions that conclude that the importance of getting protein throughout the day is vital. And one of the things that is highlighted in so many of the studies, and the one that I noted here from the Journal of Clinical Nutrition, it cites the ability of aging adults to prevent the loss of muscle and to actually increase muscle with the amino acid leucine. Now, there are many protein drinks out there, but I choose to drink this one, Unicity Complete, either for breakfast or as a post-workout meal, because I want to preserve my muscle mass. Complete has more leucine in it than a serving of chicken or fish or beef. That is part of the reason at the age of 65, I still have so much muscle. Now, when we talk about maintaining our structure of our home as we age, we need to look at our bones. As we age, the bones become thin and weak and much more porous. You see the natural bone matrix, the normal bone matrix, and osteoporosis. In between that is a stage called osteopenia. It's not quite as bad as osteoporosis. Resistance training exercise is designed to put, when I mean by resistance training, I mean weightlifting. It's designed to put gravitational force on the bones. It will actually build muscle and regrow the bones. I try to lift weights a minimum of 3 times per week. Sometimes I'll do a little bit, 5 times a week. So many women are recommended to take osteoporosis medicines, and there is so much news about the dangerous side effects of these medicines. I would say start now eating huge amounts of green leafy vegetables and take a good supplement. The one that I use combines the appropriate amounts of magnesium, D3, calcium, K2, and boron. And I like this Bone Fortify because I throw it into my protein shake. It's a really nice tasting blueberry flavored powder. You need to take control before it's too late. I'm going to tell you that 15 years ago, I was diagnosed with osteopenia. I was afraid to lift weights 15 years ago, doing certain weightlifting activities because I had a bad back. But I had an expert in weightlifting teach me how to lift so I wouldn't hurt my back. And I'm going to tell you that my routine of eating green leafy vegetables, lifting weights, taking Bone Fortify, and speaking to my doctor about balancing my hormones, all those things have completely reversed my bone density, and I have no osteopenia or osteoporosis. I have completely normal bones now. it is possible to reverse bone disease like this. Step number 6, after all the structural renovations, the fun comes with all the finishing touches. Can you believe this kitchen on the top is the same one on the bottom? That's where the fun is. A lot of people really enjoy the decorating and all the surface stuff. It's really fun. I say that even if you are full of energy and vitality, if what looks like on the outside isn't bright and shiny, you could get really depressed. When you look in the mirror and you notice those wrinkles and you thought you felt good, you suddenly feel old. I believe in aging gracefully. Some people will have plastic surgery, and I haven't done that yet, and I've always said I'm not going to do it, but who knows, maybe 10 years from now I'll have a different opinion when things get drastic. But I'm trying to do everything I can, eating the right foods and using the right skin therapies to keep my skin as vital as I can. So this program, Neigine, which is produced by Unicity, has 2 parts. It has the external part and the internal part. As we age, that DNA that I was talking about gets negatively affected, and our proteins can stop working properly. Neigine, what makes it unique is it's using a lot of natural ingredients to affect our genes, to support proper gene expression. So it helps our skin to age more slowly. And what I really love is drinking this Collagen Plus. It works from the inside out. Just so that you understand, collagen is a protein. It's a major component of bones and skin and muscles and ligaments and tendons. It provides structure and support throughout your body. It's known as the glue that holds your body together. Your body makes collagen, but as you age and you're exposed to sun and toxins and smoking and sugars, it produces less and less quality toxins. So by drinking it on a daily basis, again, I throw it into my protein shake, it helps to keep my skin healthy at a cellular level. So step number 7, we're coming to the end of our renovation. We're pleased with what we've done, but you have to protect your home. You have to invest in homeowners insurance. Sleep is a basic biological necessity, just like food and water. Just 1 week of insufficient sleep disrupts the activity of our genes, which control our response to stress and immunity and inflammation and overall health. Think about your sleeping routine. Could it improve? Better sleep reduces the risk of obesity, depression, diabetes, heart disease, and dementia. I am running a 7-night free sleep challenge on my Facebook, through my Facebook friends, and I'm hosting it with another colleague. And you might have seen me promoting this. Why am I doing it? Because I am committed to continuously improving my own sleep and the sleep of others, because it is the number 1 form of rejuvenation for the body. There's a lot of research on natural products to help people sleep and avoid the dangers of sleeping pills. And there are a lot of dangerous side effects of sleeping pills. The number 1 danger seems to be a lot of memory loss. And so I'm always open to evaluating products that claim to help with improving sleep. Now, the research behind this product, Injuvenate, it wasn't designed to improve sleep. It was designed to slow aging. So it increases circulation, muscle mass, memory, cognition, athletic performance. But one of the things it does is it helps to improve a restful sleep. You take it every other night, you drink it, you mix this with water, and you drink it about 30 minutes before you go to sleep. And it's supposed to really, I've seen it help with getting you into a deeper, more rejuvenating sleep. The other product on this page is melatonin. It's not so new. I use it to restore my circadian rhythm and get a restful night's sleep. We naturally secrete melatonin from our pineal gland deep in the brain. It coordinates the body's physiological rhythms that help to set the brain's biological clock. The principal factor affecting melatonin is light. Light inhibits the secretion of this hormone that helps us sleep. Darkness has the opposite effect from light, resulting in signaling the pineal gland to increase the melatonin secretion. So the normal cycles of melatonin production are really being disruptive in the modern world that we're living in. First of all, we know that as we age, we produce less melatonin. As we take medication, we produce less melatonin. But we are staring at computer screens all day. That blue light really lowers the melatonin production in our body, especially at night. We who sit up and watch TV late at night, sitting in front of the computer late at night, they are suggesting that people who work late at night or who are on a night schedule, they are increasing their risk of cancer. Besides improving sleep, new studies have shown that melatonin can actually guard the nervous system against degenerative diseases, such as Alzheimer's disease and stroke. And I've talked to many people who have found that it's been helpful in preventing migraine headaches. So those are all great reasons to try melatonin. So let me review our renovation plan. You have to start with a strong foundation, look at your cells, look at your blood chemistry, see how you're doing. Then it's time to clean up, balance your digestive health, get the bugs out of your basement. Get the garbage out, cut out the sugar, the processed or faked foods, scrub your arteries, eating plenty of plant foods and fibrous foods. Try unicity balance to increase the benefits that come with this fiber, and you will control the aging process beautifully. You want to avoid inflammation. One of the things I didn't mention that I am doing now is I'm one of the very lucky people to be a coach for the Get Fit 21 program. This is a wonderful program that creates healthy lifestyles in 21 days. It's an online Facebook program where myself and other coaches help to put this program together. And it helps to teach healthy habits so people can lose weight and can exercise daily and learn to eat better, make better choices. And the results have been extraordinary. People are getting off of blood pressure medicines. They are losing inches, losing weight. It's like a launch to how to create a healthy lifestyle. But I would say it's also a launch to avoid inflammation. Number 5 is we want to strengthen our internal structure, preserve our bones and our muscles, consuming protein at every meal, doing weightlifting and supplementing properly so that we can feed our bones what they need. Number 6 is taking care of our skin. We want to nourish it from the inside and out and include collagen as one of the supplements that you drink on a daily basis. You want to buy that homeowner's insurance. You want to make sure that you get quality sleep. I've shared a lot of information with you, and when your house is aging and it requires repairs, you have 3 choices. You can move, you can suffer with backed up plumbing and a leaky roof, or you can renovate. Your body is your home. You can't move to another body, so you can choose to suffer with discomfort, or you can renovate yourself. I know that sometimes a total renovation can just seem too overwhelming. You say, can I do just part of this renovation project? Of course you can. If you feel that way, if you feel overwhelmed after listening to this presentation, commit to one small renovation project. Commit to taking action in one area of your life. Just get started. Maybe it's your gut health, your bone health, or your sleep. Just get started. You're going to be happy you did, and my door is always open to help you.